OK, you say that the economy is one of your priorities and Liz Truss's priorities. Well, the Bank of England is expected to put up interest rates today, possibly as much as by 0.5%. That would be the biggest rise for 27 years. Liz Truss has made a lot of spending commitments. She wants to cut taxes to the tune of around £30 billion. She says she'll pay for that through economic growth. Are you worried that higher interest rates will dampen that growth and she won't be able to pay for these promises?
No, interest rates should have been raised a long time ago, and the Bank of England has been too slow in this regard. Interest rates are a really important gravitational pull on the value of assets, and it's really important to curb inflation. So actually, it's very welcome that the Bank of England is increasing interest rates now. But what we really need to do, and this is why Liz has got the right plan for dealing with cost of living challenges, is that we've got to ensure that we review the Bank of England's mandate. She's very interested in looking at how the Bank of England operates, maintaining its independence, of course, but also ensuring that it's much better placed and more responsive in the future to economic challenges like the type we're seeing at the moment. The challenge that we're facing at the moment is the fight against global inflation. Raising interest rates is a lever that the Bank of England has in that fight. Reducing public spending is another, and cutting taxes so that families and businesses can grow their way out of the challenges is a very important step forward. And that's why Liz is a standout candidate for me, because she's forthright on the absolute need to cut taxes.
But cutting taxes is inflationary.
Cutting taxes is going to be very important for families. So when we look at the cost of living...
I'm sure that many families will be welcoming the idea of tax cuts, but it'll allow them to spend more money. It's inflationary.
Well, not necessarily, because actually what we're going to see, if we do lower the tax burden... No, don't forget, we've got the highest tax burden in 70 years. People say we can't afford to cut taxes. Liz thinks, and I agree with her, that we can't afford not to cut taxes. If we cut taxes, we're going to free up businesses to invest more in their research and development, employ more people, lower their costs. And that's only going to be good for the economy. They're going to generate more revenue to the exchequer. That's going to generate more economic growth. And therefore, we have more to invest in our public services. Cutting taxes is the necessary step to take. And that's why Liz is the right person to lead us through these economic challenges.
Another quick bit of detail on the Bank of England. How are you going to reform the Bank of England? You want to get them more powers? Do you want to get them fewer powers? I'm confused.
Well, Liz Truss has made clear that she wants to review the mandate that the Bank of England
So what does that mean?
So that's going to be looking in detail at exactly what the Bank of England does and see whether it's actually fit for purpose in terms of its entire exclusionary independence over interest rates. The last time this was done was in 1997. It's right, and it's ripe now to review whether that is the right settlement when it comes to our monetary policy. Of course, that's not to take away the Bank of England's independence, but there are many other models around the world where central banks have different degrees of independence over monetary policy. For example, Japan is a country at which we're looking. And I know that Liz is very, very keen on radical reform to ensure that monetary policy can be much better placed and more responsive to inflationary pressures, but also economic challenges.